Living the second half of life, living peacefully and happily. In the second half of life, learn to be calm. Sometimes misunderstood by others, we should avoid arguments in life. There are many right and wrong issues that are hard to clarify. Fundamentally, there is neither complete right nor complete wrong. 2. In the second half of life, learn to bow your head. When others disagree with your opinions, with children, or when having conflicting conversations with friends, it's okay. You can engage in household chores like mopping or laundry. During work, you will realize your mood and thoughts gradually settle down. 3. In the second half of life, don't feel regretful. Life is a long path with countless crossroads, and we must continuously make choices. There are no opportunities to repeat choices, so don't regret. Sometimes destiny compels us to choose and commit to what we have chosen. 4. In the second half of life, preserve simplicity. Overthinking only complicates life. Living simply is actually a grace bestowed upon us by the heavens. Learn to appreciate the aroma of food, recognize the joy of exercising with friends, and enjoy conversations happily. 5. In the second half of life, become tranquil. As people reach a certain age, they naturally no longer enjoy noisy and hectic things. A tranquil mind helps maintain a healthy body and prolongs lifespan. It doesn't matter if our material life is abundant or meager. As long as our inner self is peaceful, we are living a happy life. 6. In the second half of life, sometimes be indifferent. There are things that require indifference, so let them be. If something cannot be clarified, there's no need to clarify it. If someone needs to pass by, let them pass. If you only know how to remember without knowing how to forget, only know how to calculate without knowing how to forgive, only know how to be clever without knowing how to be clumsy, then our lives will always be heavy and troubled. 7. In the second half of life, occasionally let go of yourself. Eat fruits, vegetables, and healthy foods daily. Don't try to satisfy eating desires by becoming overweight. In later years, we will walk with difficulty, knowing our limitations. However, we should not overstrain ourselves in eating. Enjoying all the flavors of life in moderation will make your soul and body more graceful. 8. In the second half of life, regularly bless others. How we treat others will determine how they treat us in return. Therefore, frequently bless your friends, children, and even distant people. Don't hesitate to give blessings when you help others. You will realize that you are being uplifted in your heart, nurturing joys. Live your life to the fullest. Joys and sorrows will pass. Spring blooms, autumn leaves fall, live to love and be loved. The things that should be misunderstood in a happy life are meant to be felt, not celebrated. Life is for experiencing, not for calculating. Love is for connecting, not for testing. Parents are for pure filial piety, not for demanding. Friends are for sharing, not for competing. Relatives are for caring, not for harming. Fame and fortune are for contributing, not for arrogance. Material things are for using, not for flaunting. Lies are for destroying, not for protecting. Trust is for assurance, not for pressure. Money is for spending, not for measuring. Wake up to a new day. Don't always cling to what's in the past, letting go. Don't obsess over what's yet to come in the future, finding peace. Don't dwell on those who have left, living serenely. Don't suffer over things you've tried but haven't achieved, letting fate decide. Don't hesitate over what's not available or unattainable, purity. Don't immerse yourself in the crowd to lose yourself, spiritual transcendence. Don't forget that your life exists with every breath, knowing how to live. Don't speak harsh words, loving words. Before deciding to do something, recognize that it will lead to suffering for yourself and others, and know when to stop and calm your mind, compassion. The paradox of people today: a virtual world is more real than the real world. Technology is increasingly developing, helping us connect with many people, bridging geographical distances. Sitting in one place, we can chat with friends around the world, access all information through a tiny phone in our hands. Because of numerous relationships and excessive information intake, we no longer have time for real relationships and real life. Family meals no longer involve caring inquiries. Everyone eats while hunched over their phones. Friend gatherings are no different. Everyone is in their own corner, obsessed with their phones, occasionally glancing up to smile weakly before diving back into their phones. The virtual world is more enticing than the real world. Nowadays, it seems that modern people don't know what it means to be satisfied, thus losing a lot in the process. Modern people seem to be so engrossed in making money that they inadvertently lose other meaningful aspects of life. The poor are considered wealthier than the rich. City dwellers have a higher standard of living and income, but rarely can afford to give the best to their parents in the countryside. Most of what they send to rural areas are old, unused items that have become damaged or outdated. Conversely, the poor in rural areas always choose the best to send to city dwellers. The fattest chickens, the biggest grapefruits and bananas, the sweetest jackfruits. Aren't rural people living more luxuriously than city dwellers? Fathers earn money to buy health. We want to earn as much as possible to become truly wealthy. Therefore, we always strive to work hard, working so much that days aren't enough, squeezing in nights, working 40 hours a week isn't sufficient, hustling to work overtime on weekends. Many people even use all kinds of tactics and tricks to gain fame and benefits for themselves. As a result, both body and mind are exhausted and fragmented. Illness finds the body without a moment's rest, causing blurred vision, trembling legs, dizziness, blindness, liver disorders, liver swelling, needing to enter and leave hospitals. At that time, all the money earned from hard work is spent on doctors to buy health. But can you really buy it? Patients ask their children to help with housework. Couples living together only hope to have children for joy, a house filled with happiness. Couples who are infertile or have difficulty conceiving visit doctors everywhere in hopes of conceiving. But once they have children, they habitually entrust their children to helpers for care, leaving the upbringing of children to the helpers. Meanwhile, we, who have given birth to those angelic children, are still obsessed with earning money, meeting our children for barely an hour or two each day. Thus, we neglect our children, leaving them to helpers to find joy and nurture. Birth children are not meant for us. What we need is a warm home more than a house. Many people have a settled mind and always want to own a house, striving to earn money to get their dream home. Some borrow money to buy a house, then work hard to repay it gradually. Even after getting a house, we still spend most of our time outside earning money, not at home. We continue to go out, struggling on the streets to exchange for a bigger house, buying more comfortable appliances for the home. But what do we need is a warm home rather than a large house. Are we stuck in which paradox among the 5 paradoxes of modern humans? True joy originates from inner peace when the heart is full of happiness. This world is beautiful, lovely, and happiness is felt from small things. Happiness is not about your position or title, but about being loved and cherished wherever you are. Happiness is not about how much money you accumulate, but about whether you do what you love every day. Happiness is not about how beautiful your wife or how successful your husband is, but about the brightness of your spouse's smile. Happiness is not about how large your house is, but about how many laughs fill your home. Happiness is not about driving a luxurious car, but about knowing how to drive safely to return home safely. Happiness is not about eating delicious food or wearing beautiful clothes, but about having fewer misfortunes and illnesses. Happiness is not about the enthusiastic applause when you succeed, but about someone telling you, "Hey, keep going," when you feel the most exhausted. Happiness is not about how many sweet words you hear, but about when you are sad and tearful. Someone tells you, "It's okay, I'm here with you." Happiness is not necessarily about going to the temple every day to seek peace, but about building a quiet temple within your own soul amidst the bustling life. Happiness is something you know how to cultivate. Big matters turn into trivialities, small matters look like clouds and smoke. My heart is vast beside life, recognizing suffering. Joy comes from joy we often hold tightly in our own world's embrace. That joy cannot spread to the horizon, to all living beings. Because suffering we often push away, cannot be expelled, suffering strikes back into the heart. Accumulated over days, I become weary, blaming life for the lack of empathy. Sadness shares a withdrawn soul. The whirlwind of protecting joy fades, sharing joy, flapping wings in all directions. The heart adds suffering because I nurture worries about life. Peace comes from knowing how to love, that joy is as vast as the heavens and earth. That sadness is like an ocean even deeper than the abyss, welcome it. Joy doesn't cling and sadness exists widely. Life has both sweet and bitter nectar, days with rain and sunshine, dates where souls feel like mountains, reflecting on the river, calm and serenity. Boats glide between joy and sorrow. I fear many shadows within my heart, losing fame and fortune. I consider not yet lost. If someone asks me what I hate the most, it's losing peace. If there's no love, no hate, no compassion, love and hate remain innocent like children. If someone asks me about true love, it's about knowing patience, accepting each other, loving without binding, making the other struggle, happily sharing a quilt, suffering together. If someone asks me what I'm most grateful for, it's obstacles, life's hindrances, the wind that helps people return early. If someone asks what disappoints me, it's dreaming of changing life. If I knew how to change myself, it's important to see the world beautifully and purely. If someone asks me about my hopes and dreams, I hope to broaden my heart. Today I'm grounded, shrinking myself, living a vast life, loving the things I cherish. I have learned from life. I have learned that sometimes we have the right to be angry, but that doesn't mean we have the right to be cruel. I have learned that if you don't control your emotions, they will control you. I have learned that building trust takes years, but it only takes seconds to destroy it. I have learned that you can't make everyone love you. All you can do is become someone others can love. The rest depends on the other person. I have learned never to count the things you acquire in life, but to count how many friends you have in life. I have learned that true friendship continues to grow despite distance. True love is the same. I have learned that to live happily, you must forgive. Know how to forgive others. Still not enough, you need to know how to forgive yourself. Among these, the first thing I cherish most, sometimes we have the right to be angry, but that doesn't mean we have the right to be cruel. Many times in life, I have been made angry by others. Numerous times I intended to retaliate for the anger, but in reality, doing so only makes me more wicked. Whatever can be forgiven, just forgive it. After getting angry, don't hold grudges. Venting silently within your soul is what's important. Before deciding to say something, we should learn to be gentle, listen before criticizing, laughing off. We should look back, self-criticize. Life lessons teach us that our partners teach us to know that many failures make us appreciate courage. Many conveniences make us appreciate tolerance. Many thorns make us appreciate generosity. Meeting many types of people makes us appreciate friendship. Many bumps make us appreciate honesty. Many successes make us appreciate letting go. Many flaws make us appreciate sincerity. Many bonds make us appreciate freedom. Many sufferings make us appreciate joy and liberation. Every day we should learn to forget things that make us unhappy. Learn to leave behind regrets that make us weak. As long as there's still tomorrow, everything is still possible. Human life lasts how long? Let us be thankful for being alive, for being able to feel the fragrance of flowers, the sweetness of fruits in this life. No matter how strong you are, sometimes you are weak. A kind word exchanged, a magical faith may have moments of emptiness, lack of support. Sitting atop the peak of happiness means love and understanding need sharing and empathy. Suddenly realizing, no matter whom you meet, that person will appear in your life. Everything is absolutely not random. That person comes and will bring you a lesson, a feeling, a mark. When a boat reaches the head of the bridge, it must straighten its course. When reaching the end, a path will naturally open. Similarly, no matter where you have to go, that is where you need to be. Experience what needs to be experienced. Meet who needs to be met. The pine and cypress trees, any shady place that needs visitors, still remain green all year. The green leaves in the morning amid frost and cold winds do not need friends to bloom. At the right time in spring, everyone must overcome a period without help, without support or caring inquiries. But only in this way can one be resilient in overcoming desolation in life. There's no such thing as unfairness, only an unhappy heart. Don't blame, resent, but be calm with everything. Seeing everything like smoke and clouds, you will realize that human life ultimately is like a passing breeze, rising and then vanishing, born from dust and finally merging into dust. Ideals sometimes are like a candle lighting up, then extinguishing, feelings like rain pouring, then drying up. Friends are like a gathering cloud, then dispersing. Sorrow is like a drink that makes you drunk, then sobers up. Loneliness is like a star after sparkling, then extinguishing, like a rhyme. The moon rises, then becomes silent. 100-year-old age is like a tired dream. After 100 years, it's time to sleep forever. End of life on earth. Only blessings and karma remain beside this life. Fame and fortune. Relationships suddenly turn to bubbles, drifting away once breaths fade. What remains is love. Accept the truth that within us there is both mud and lotus, both demons and angels. Don't reject demons nor abandon angels. Within us there is both black and white. Don't reject black to chase white, because black accentuates white, because mud nourishes the lotus. This means you should never reject weaknesses or past mistakes, because no progress and perfection come from fleeing and denying the past. Everything that comes to each person has its own meaning, is a gift for growth and perfection. Therefore, embrace everything with gratitude and appreciation, and then use the power to transform yourself to crush all the trash into nutrients to nurture trees, so that trees bloom, have fragrant stems, and sweet fruits. After that, you can taste the sweetness of happiness, joy, and exuberance in your heart. Knowing how to give will always remain. Holding tightly to loss makes people forget. Giving a little allows you to feel regretful. Saving a little is okay, but don't be overly calculating with money. Those who habitually overvalue money will sooner or later become slaves to money. Being lazy, changing a little is okay, but never always sluggish. Tasks should be done diligently, with some dedication, so as not to miss or neglect social responsibilities. Being a little ambitious is fine, but definitely don't be overly aggressive. Don't let false intentions turn you into a demon. Being a bit smart is good, but definitely don't think of yourself as cunning while others are foolish. Otherwise, the world will only have one foolish person, and that is you. Being a bit tolerant is good, but don't let others look down on you, exploit your tolerance, and continue to make mistakes. However, we should always maintain our own rules and self-respect. Being a bit naive is better for happiness than being too smart and getting tired from personal ambition. Being a bit foolish allows you to deal with emotions calmly. There's a saying that foolish people have the blessing of foolishness. It doesn't mean that your intelligence is low or slow to understand, but that you have part of insight and part of serenity toward life. Opportunities will attach to them, allowing them to seize and do well. For things that cannot be achieved, they can smile and let go. For emotions that cannot be reached, they let go gently. People who are somewhat foolish have hearts that are broader, easily satisfied, and open-minded. Being a bit foolish means not competing with others, making life more free. Being a bit foolish is actually better than over-calculating, which tires yourself out. For those who seek small gains, foolish people don't hesitate to yield a bit to those who crave external appearances. Foolish people don't hesitate to praise a few words to those who like to boast and flatter. Foolish people remain silent, distance themselves, and ignore them. It's not that they don't see the flaws, but they don't want to speak them out. Foolish people can often be tolerant and sympathetic to others' feelings. True happiness is very simple. It just needs to know when to let go. Not competing is a form of intelligence, also a form of compassion. Letting go of yourself is also letting go of others. Being a bit foolish is not at all disadvantageous. Not demanding too much from relatives makes the family harmonious. Not arguing too much with a lover makes the relationship last longer. Not calculating and scheming with friends makes the friendship stronger. Being a bit foolish, learn to make your life joyful, not impatient, not over-competitive. How many smart people have been harmed by their own intelligence? From now on, be a bit naive, foolish, and not let sentimental and worldly matters trouble your heart. This way, you can remain peaceful in life, reach the realm of enlightenment, and be free. A heart like the sun spreads evenly everywhere, rain all over the vast directions, love like the wind blowing in countless directions, living without stubbornly loving. Life begins as a sheet of paper. Life starts from there. Suffering and joy lurk behind. We enter life and spend years diligently with books, striving for a piece of land, gasping, arranging husbands and wives. A sheet of marriage paper. From then on, souls are intertwined, trapped in the household, battling and struggling through countless hardships. A sheet of money must be paid in full before reaching prosperity. To look closely and sideways requires many group efforts through praise. Oh, the excitement of honor is just a bit of fleeting glory, who applauds forever into old age. Only when in the doctor's office do you hold a blank paper in your hand, sighing that from now on, each day will be suffering. Thinking that a sudden bill appears, decades on earth, yellow papers fly all over the city, few awaken, letting go of the papers placed on life's values. What are eyes doing to have to be like that? Feet worn out going back and forth, chasing shadows to find prey leisurely, neck laughing and smiling to live simply in the present, day by day soaring souls, awakening. Which piece of paper is real when breath falters? All are just games because humans create relative and illusory things in life. Fragile people who let go cannot run around blindly. Those who know how to face life, like a play where each person must alternate many roles from children, siblings, spouses to the roles of parents. Understanding each role and flexibly using different mindsets to live with different statuses will make your life lighter, easier to welcome joy and happiness. Facing parents, open your heart. Parents have given us life forever, caring and loving us unconditionally. Don't be irritated by old age or parents nagging. Confide your worries to them, and you'll realize that their life experience and advice will help you broaden your vision. Facing children, don't confine them with strict rules as parents. Authority and love must go hand in hand to effectively raise children. For your children's bad behaviors, firmly say no, but on the other hand, you need to talk to them as equals. Let children have choices, not always follow rigid frameworks you set. For example, saying, "Now you go to sleep," or "Sleep in 10 minutes" is more effective than parents commanding to sleep immediately. 2. Facing your spouse, show vulnerability. Family is not a place for power struggles or a trash can to vent all frustrations. A warm home needs to be nurtured with gentle emotions and mutual respect. When you're tired, show vulnerability to your other half. Share your pressures and frustrations so the other half knows you need understanding and comfort. By doing so, both will care and love each other more. 4. Facing work, accept challenges. Working is a role that requires rationality and maturity. Therefore, we cannot choose work tasks based on our likes or dislikes. In any work environment, everyone needs to accept difficulties, be ready to learn, be progressive, harmonize with others, and train themselves to become better each day. 5. Facing friends, completely relax. Each of us has a few close friends. In front of them, you don't need to hide your sorrows or pretend to be strong. When you're in a bad mood or facing difficulties, arrange to meet a few friends or call them to chat and share. Sharing life's joys and sorrows will help both sides feel more cared for and supported. 6. Facing yourself, take off the mask inside. Everyone has weaknesses. If your inner self isn't cared for, then your happiness is only superficial. Caring and loving yourself is a boost for your soul. When you're tired or upset, instead of forcing a smile to everyone, give yourself a temporary quiet time. Take off the mask to regain your calm. The mind is the master of the house. The body is the tool that reflects the true essence. Warmth is not when you sit close to the stove, but when you sit in an atmosphere of love and warmth. It's not about wearing many layers of clothes, or when it's raining, covering yourself with a coat to stay warm. It's about living harmoniously, exchanging glances, empathizing with a burning spark of fire to push away gloom. Winter doesn't require knitting woolen sweaters to make life warmer. It's when you meet a good friend with a hot, fragrant cup of tea. It's not about receiving many gifts to feel the joy of warmth. When you're sorrowful, having a shoulder to lean on is more important than rubbing someone's back to make you feel better. Winter passes, life continues. Suddenly someone comes along, holding hands warmly even if it's cold outside, living happily despite hardships. Living in poverty is better than being externally warm and internally pure. Wealth still makes you lonely, while the seeds on the field remain lush in the heart. A person's happiness, or lack thereof, ultimately lies in the heart, not in the body. It's not about what you gain or lose each day that determines your mood. It's not others, but yourself. Each person's heart is like a field. Sow good seeds, and you will reap good fruits. Sow bad seeds, and you will reap bad fruits. If you can live each day happily, making your life naturally healthy like grass or blooming beautifully like flowers, then the entire natural world will congratulate you because happiness makes people charming and beautiful. Hatred, resentment, and suffering only make people uglier. Indeed, appearance is born from the heart, so a smile is a bright reflection of the soul, shining over all the seeds planted in the heart. If you have seeds of joy in your heart, the fruits will certainly be smiles. If you have seeds of sorrow, the fruits will certainly be pain. If you have seeds of blame, the fruits will certainly be resentment. If your heart is full of seeds of love, the fruits will certainly be tolerance. If your heart harbors evil, the fruits will certainly be downfall and corruption. There is a saying, we cannot change the weather, but we can change our mood. You don't need to feel troubled by rain. You don't need to avoid the sun. You also don't need to worry about sunburn, because the bright sunlight won't make you step into a muddy puddle. Oh, open the door once to let the vast world in. Welcome the sweet and peaceful dawn into every cell of your body and soul. Priceless gifts don't need to be bought. There are gifts you don't need to buy but are extremely meaningful and valuable when you give them to friends, family, and yourself. The gift of listening. Truly listen, share others' pains, confide, and share joys and sorrows with others. Listen not only with your hands, but with your entire heart. The gift of concern. Spend time caring for family, friends, and colleagues. Treat their problems as your own. Let everyone feel your love through the actions you show daily. The gift of smiles. Smiles are a silent language, but have the power to spread strength to others quickly. A smile doubles joy and lightens sorrow. Give smiles to everyone around you. The gift of compliments. Simple, sincere compliments like, "You look radiant today," "You did that very well," "Today's meal is wonderful," will boost others' spirits. The gift of creativity. Every day, perform a small surprise for friends and family. Surely you will receive interesting surprises from them as well. The gift of tranquility. Those moments when you truly just want to be alone and quiet. Cherish these precious moments and give the gift of tranquility to others at the right time. The gift of gratitude. The simplest way to express gratitude for others. Care and sharing is to say thank you with a sincere smile. These are priceless gifts that can bring joy to both the giver and the receiver. Nurture your life well before time runs out. Live wholeheartedly before life runs out. Accept these things to live peacefully. People often judge and chase external beauty before considering character. Most people value money, ignoring others' feelings or happiness. Often, the person you love the most can be the one who hurts you the most. Friendships have fragile boundaries in moments of joy. Only when faced with adversity do you realize who your true friends are. In this world, it's rare to meet those who love you forever like parents. Give a little love, open your heart, and you'll be filled with joy. A little yielding, looking away, listening makes the soul peaceful and the sky vast. A little forgiveness, letting go, tomorrow remains together, sharing tea with elders with a bit of sincerity, sending sorrows back with a glance, thanking the sufferings. See clearly to overcome, not to surpass failures. Failure is common. How many in life have never failed? But if you fail and can't stand up, the rest of your life will probably only be filled with complaints. The most successful people are often those who have fallen the most. The important thing is knowing how to stand up after falling. Don't stay there, silently blaming the part you are waiting for someone to come and save you from the hardships. Your life is determined by yourself. Whichever path you take is your choice. If you don't know how to stand up after falling, don't hope to go well. The future of life is full of promises. Not seeing yourself clearly, getting lost in loops, not seeing your own wounds after each struggle, not finding a peaceful place. Behind the bustling insignificance are the great sufferings of human life. People always think they understand themselves the best, but in reality, it's the opposite. Seeing the deepest part of your soul is the most difficult thing. In these reflections, life has many things that prevent you from seeing your own circumstances, not seeing yourself lost in a loop, not seeing the wounds after each struggle, not finding a peaceful place. Behind the noisy hustle, you also can't see the way forward. A whole human life is exhausted, tired, not seeing the joy after sorrows, not seeing the heart amidst the vast sea of people. The elderly regret the past. If you keep living in regrets, missing out on what you couldn't do or didn't have a chance to do, regretting fame, applause, victories, even though they are just fleeting glory, you will be tormented all your life. Yesterday was just a rainstorm, which eventually passed. Yesterday was also just a movie, watched and gone. Yet longing for the past means living another day, which means accepting that some things cannot be reversed, some things cannot be changed, some words cannot be taken back. Always longing for the past is like covering a layer of dark clouds over your current and future self. Fourth, not knowing how to let go, not being able to let go of people and events that have passed, not abandoning guilt from the past is like carrying a boulder on a long journey. It's truly suffering, truly tiring to let go here, not only of material possessions and money, but also of the heavy heart, the sorrows. If you can't let go of them, these kinds of doubts will gradually poison your soul, making you never have peace. Letting go is also the way Buddha teaches humans to cleanse themselves and return to their purest, most virtuous nature. As mentioned, not being able to let go is like a traveler on a long road still trying to carry a heavy boulder. How can you reach your life's destination if you keep clinging, bringing those burdens and constraints along? Life is not an ocean of suffering. We create suffering only when our perspective changes and our souls radiate light. Understanding that each person's life is like a book. There are sad pages, happy pages, suffering pages, and joyful pages. Be strong every day. Turn a page. If every page is the same, the book has nothing interesting. There must be this page, that page, so that the range of your emotions can fully develop. Going through suffering makes you appreciate happiness more. Meeting or parting in life is all fate, and being calm is the best thing. When young, happiness is very simple. Growing up, living simply is the true happiness. To not waste your efforts in this life, do work, meditate, and love what is good. Meditation always brings happiness to yourself and others. Ordinary people, when about to reach happiness, are excited and enthusiastic, but once achieved, they worry and feel uneasy. Life has nothing absolute. There is always compensation. If you have more, your responsibilities increase. Human life is like the sun, sometimes very bright, sometimes pitch dark. Human life ultimately has only 2.5 minutes. 1 minute to smile, 1 minute to sigh, and half a minute to love. Human life is neither long nor short. It should be cherished and let go when necessary. There are some people you can never forget because you don't owe them anything, and others you must forget because they're not worth remembering. Don't trust your eyes too much because sometimes what you see is what you wish for, and what you dislike is what you overlook. We all think we control our lives, but forget that life requires much consideration. No matter how many difficulties you face today, keep believing that only yesterday cannot return, and tomorrow will surely come. Don't cry over the past. Those moments are gone. Don't despair over tomorrow. There are still foggy moments. Each new day, stop today, live now, fully happy. Being a good speaker isn't easy. It's hard to inspire thousands of hearts with right reasons or manage your mouth and tongue. Just keep a kind heart and be a good person. Follow your own path, and that's enough. No matter how well you live, there will be those who praise you and those who criticize you. No matter how successful you are, there will be people who comment. Beauty has 100 styles, but you can still show your color, spread your fragrance without hesitation. Everyone has their own lifestyle. Why not support each other, rise together, instead of constantly lowering, pushing each other down to gain something? Right and wrong, must be good and bad are due to different perspectives of people. The important thing is not necessarily to be better than those distinguished ones, but that among those distinguished ones we surpass the superiority without stubbornness in our own hearts. Innately, our eyes and hearts are bright. Today, shout to transform blindness and not see clearly. Nature seeks us a resting place amidst the chaos of sun and rain. Reverse the flow of life and death. Seek a route sufficient enough. Hide the familiar paths to go home. Tired feet, passion has waned. From oblivion, step out of a region of karma and destiny. Find a true route to enter. Suddenly lose your place. Emptiness. 1. Be content with what you have. Be happy with everything as it exists. Recognize that everything is not lacking, and the whole world belongs to you. 2. When you are content with yourself and do not compare or compete, people will respect you. 3. When you let go of your ego, you become your true self. 4. If you realize that everything changes, there's nothing you need to cling to. If you are not afraid of death, nothing will prevent your success. The best leadership is when people are aware of your existence. When your work is done, the goal is achieved, people will say, "We have done it."